All right. Welcome to yet another SalesFrame webinar. We are finally live, right on time, it seems. And I just wanted to point out to everybody joining that I strongly suggest viewing this through YouTube directly. So if you have the chance, go to YouTube by clicking the name of the webinar at the top of the video. So instead of viewing this through our site, I strongly recommend you view this through YouTube. And the reason for that is purely because if you have any questions at any moment or any comments or anything like that, you can comment while you're in YouTube. So again, if you have the chance, please open this webinar through YouTube directly. Don't just view it through our website. And I've been taught that when you start a webinar, it takes a few minutes for people to get online. So I've been recommended that maybe talk about something a bit more light before actually getting into the meat and drink of today's topic. So before we go into why you should record memo sites and why you should record video greetings and how those can help you be a better seller, I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about the posters behind me. I'm sitting at our office. I'm sitting in a small meeting room at our office. We use this meeting room for online meetings. And these posters behind me are each chosen by employees that we've had over the years. We've had a policy ever since we started that if you joined our company, you get to pick a poster on the wall. And we have quite a few posters around the office these days because we've had quite a few employees over the years. And it's quite a nice way to remember everybody who's worked for us before and also for everybody to leave their mark, so to speak. So you can see the personality of a few different people who've worked for us right behind me. But since we're already over a minute in, I guess we can start or get closer to getting started. So today's webinar is about how you can perform better by making video greetings to customers. And I figured that instead of this just being a monologue, don't worry, I'm not asking you guys to participate too much. Instead of this just being a monologue, I invited a colleague of mine. So I'd like to introduce my colleague Mikko to everybody. Let's make him visible. Hey, Mikko.
Hi.
Tell the people what you do.
So yeah, I'm Mikko Koittinen. I'm the design director at SalesFrame. So my main job is to design the product itself. But this particular topic of the video greetings is kind of near and dear to me because I also, on my free time, like to make videos and such. And I've even made a few videos for the company before. So I am the resident
chief video guy.
Yeah, I guess if there is a video guy in this company, I guess I am it.
Please note the high quality of his camera.
It's still a webcam, but
yeah, fair enough.
I did consider, I have this thing. I did consider using that as a webcam, but a little overboard.
Little overboard, especially when you consider that we're probably this big on everybody's screen right now. Fair enough. So yeah, Mikko designs for us, and he makes some really good stuff on YouTube. A bit weird from a business perspective, but if you want, check him out on YouTube. You can find him with his name. So I figured that today's roles would be that I would be talking more about the sales side of things, why you would use and how you would use video greetings for sales purposes, and Mikko can bring a little more knowledge into good tips for making videos overall, talk about things like lighting and so on. Today's agenda is pretty straightforward on this topic. So first, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about why video greetings can help you sell better. After that, we're going to go through a little bit of technical setup instructions. So how you should set up filming a video greeting. Now, obviously, you can do that without any setup almost, but still wanted to give you guys a few pointers, and that's definitely up Mikko's alley. And after that, I figured we could discuss a little bit how to prepare for video greetings overall, outside of the technical spectrum of things, what to say, what kind of body language to have, so on and so forth, and what situations you should use video greetings in overall. So if we start now, I wanted to mention, first of all, why you should use video greetings. I mean, if I ask Mikko, I guess your opinion is you should use them because they're a feature in SalesFrame. But we designed this feature during COVID. We were interviewing tens of people, both some of our users and also some sales consultants and LinkedIn people and so on and so forth. And a common theme that came up during COVID was that selling online has resulted in a decrease of personal interaction during sales, regardless of whether or not you're on camera. There's just less personality involved because you don't get to have the walk to the coffee machine and you don't get to walk from the lobby to the meeting room and so on. So we tried to think of ways we could make sales a bit more personal, even though you might not ever meet the customer. And video greetings came up as an idea very quickly after this. And the whole goal of using video greetings, the reason why you should use video greetings, and it doesn't matter what situation you use them in, is the whole goal is to be more personal from the client's perspective, be more memorable from the client's perspective. Trust me when I say that I've heard a lot of comments from customers that just because I've sent them video greetings during the course of a sales process, they remember me as the video guy. Yeah, this is Lauri. He always sends these funny videos or, videos overall or whatever. And they just remember me. And as a salesperson, that's good. Unless, of course, they remember you for the wrong reasons. But in this case, they're probably remembering you for good reasons. And obviously, it's a good way to compensate, especially if you never have the chance to meet the customer face to face. Lastly, it's a really good way to stand out because in most industries, salespeople don't send video to customers. If you're the one seller who the customer works with who does, they'll remember you even more and you will stand out. And 99% of the time, you'll stand out from a positive standpoint. Mikko, anything you wanted to add regarding this?
Not really. I think for someone who doesn't do sales on a regular basis, I think the big thing would be, if I would imagine myself as a potential customer of someone, there is a definite trust element there where if you see the person's actual face and they are speaking to you, it's much easier to trust that person than an email, basically. So that's for the sort of the other side. I would it would be much easier to trust someone who is speaking directly to me, even if it is.
I mean, at worst,
online.
It's an enhanced voicemail.
Yes.
So
yeah. Of
it's
course,
a video voicemail in some situations.
There's not really anything to lose.
Exactly.
With sending a video greeting.
So tell us a little bit about recording a video greeting. How would you set up your computer or your phone for that situation?
Sure. I actually have a couple of slides.
Sure. Should I show them?
Show. Yes.
All right.
So this is SalesFrame, by the way, if you didn't. Right.
There are some people here who don't use SalesFrame who aren't SalesFrame users. Quick
look again. Yes, it's very nice. Someone very talented designed it. So I'm going to go through 2 slides and then I'm just going to kind of show you in practice these things a little bit. So if you do not have a separate light, something bright to light your face, then what you should not do is this first diagram here, which is the camera is facing you as it would be, and then you have a window directly behind you. So if the light from the window is behind you, then the camera will expose for all of the light either on your face or the light in your background. And if it exposes for the window, then you will be very dark and no one will be able to see your face. And if it exposes for your face, the window will be completely blown out and like you will be in a haze of light in the picture. So
you'll look like an angel.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Not in
maybe
a
you
good
want
way.
that, but yeah. And bear in mind, actually, these technical setup tips are also very good for just your regular online meetings, webinars like this, anything where your face is on, especially a webcam situation. So very good general rules for looking your best and sounding your best on video in your home or at the office. Generally, the best situation is the second diagram here, where the window is directly behind your camera, which is probably your laptop or your phone or webcam. So the window is directly behind that. So you get all the light from the window directly onto your face. And the light from your window, if the sun isn't shining like directly through so brightly that you can't see, so if it's not direct sunlight in your eyes, the light from your window is really nice. It just makes you look really good. It's diffused, it's soft, it's natural. So that's basically the best case scenario. But when you can't have this best case scenario, you can use a light. So a secondary light source, any kind of light that lights up your face. So in this first diagram, the window is on your side, so all the light comes from the side. And without a light, that's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. But if you have a light lighting your face, it kind of balances out that light a little bit, and you'll look pretty good. Also, light from the side actually looks like more like you're in a movie or on TV or something, because it's more like a filmic kind of lighting when the light's on the side. But then if that's not an option, if you really have a window behind you and you don't really have the option of filming any other way, then having a light in front of your face is a great way to balance that light. So I can actually show that in practice. Here we go.
Oh, there we go.
So in practice, actually, Lauri and I both have lights that we're using. So now here with my face, I have the window behind me. So I'm at home, the window is behind me, and I don't really have much of an option because this is where I have my desk set up, and I don't work with a laptop at home, so I'm kind of stuck here. So I got a light. It's kind of a big panel of light, but if I turn it off, it's not great. Like, you can barely see my face because the light from outside is so bright. So using additional lights in your home is a good move. And in Lauri's case, actually, the window in that room is
where is it? Here is
like
it.
On the side. So like the sunlight comes from the side. Of course, in Finland this time of the year, there's not much sunlight. Anyway. But Lauri also has you can actually see the reflection of the ring light on the wall on that picture there. So Lauri is also using a light to balance the light on his face, and that's basically.
I mean, this light isn't as powerful as the one you have, but if I take it off, there's a definite difference. It's off now, and when I put it on, there is a difference here.
Yeah.
So we've set this up because this is our online meeting room. It's a tiny room, but if you do work at the office as well, I mean, these lights don't cost much. They're like 20 euros or something like that. So I think it would be a good idea for companies to invest in those in their online meeting rooms as well.
Yeah, especially in an office setting, it's a very good idea to have sufficient lighting and not just have the lighting up in the ceiling, because then your face won't be lit because all the light comes from top down.
Exactly.
Okay.
We need to start to move on, but we have a question.
Yes.
We have a question.
Okay.
So Alexander here is asking, would you recommend an external webcam or a phone with 4K for video greetings?
I would go with a phone, probably. Phone cameras are terrific now. Like if you have a modern, fairly good phone, that camera is probably, or the camera software is probably better than any regular webcam. Of course, if you want to spend €100 on a webcam, then that's a pretty good webcam. But
I also want to say, just for Alexander, we've got a new version coming out soon of the SalesFrame memo sites. I know you're a user, and one of the things that's coming out is the fact that the quality of the video is going to increase dramatically. Right now, we're decreasing the quality of the recording on purpose because we're streaming it at the same quality to every user who opens it. And that means if you have poor internet, a high quality video will take forever to load. But in the future, we're going to stream it at different qualities depending on the speed of your internet. So that's going to make a big difference. And in that case, Mikko's absolutely right. A 4K phone is way better than using your computer. However, as a counterpoint, I do record some video greetings with my phone if I'm on the go. Usually during the summer, if a customer asks for something, even if I'm on vacation, I'm one of those people who can't help themselves. I'll still reply. If they need some information about something, I'll send it. I'll send it anyway, and I will do that with my phone. And if I'm at the cottage or if I'm on the street or something, I might record it while walking. I've become comfortable with that, even if there's people around.
There's actually a second question or a comment that, but isn't it like a bit messy to send it with the phone? On the computer, it's faster, so it's more easy to actually do, and that's true. And whatever camera you have is always the best camera. That's the rule. Like if you have a camera, that's the best camera. If you have the option, you can use your phone as your webcam, but of course you have to set it up that way, and that might be a little tricky and all that. But also on that note, there is a new SalesFrame mobile app also coming that makes making memo sites with video greetings on your phone much easier and more comfortable. But yeah, generally the camera you have access to is the best camera.
Yeah, Rasmus has a point here, though, in the sense that from a daily work perspective, if you look at my day-to-day, I have on average about 4 to 5 customer meetings a day, all of them online. It's been months since I met anybody face-to-face. I never record on the phone, even if my phone has better quality during those moments, because if I think this is a good segue into the use cases as well. When would you send a video greeting? Because if I have so many meetings, it means if I have 5 meetings a day, it means at best I'm recording 10 videos that day. What I mean by that is, this is already the use cases. What I mean by that is I'm sending videos as intros for new contacts. So if I'm meeting someone for the first time, I'm sending them a video before I meet them. And in that situation, it's easier to do with the laptop because, I'm in the meeting room or I'm at my station. I'm at my desk. And, it's just easier to do that way. It's way faster than bringing up my phone and recording, like this. But, of course, you can do that with your phone if you're having a meeting after lunch and you're walking from a lunch restaurant or something. So, again, you can use either one you want. But using this as a segue into the use cases, intros for new contacts is a really good reason to send video greetings. So as a rule for a salesperson at SalesFrame, every time you're meeting someone new, send them a video greeting before you meet them. I try to introduce myself with a sentence, not more than that. And after that, I'll try to pitch something relevant and something insightful for the potential customer in this situation. But we also do that even if we're meeting someone new from a current client. So even if you're handling existing business, so to speak, video greetings before meeting someone for the first time is a really good way to stand out in a positive way. But looking at the other use cases, I think a really relevant one, and one that's not used enough, I think, by a lot of users, is using video greetings in prospecting. So if you're in new business, if you're in charge of generating meetings yourself or for other people, you can't always reach everybody by the phone, and email is tough because people just generally might ignore your email. However, if you make an email where you say, if you write an email where you say you recorded a personal video for them, or if you connect via LinkedIn, for example, the video can be, again, a great way to stand out. It's like sending an enhanced voicemail, as I mentioned earlier. And if you can outline why you want to meet and what the benefit actually is in that video, it's potentially more powerful than a phone call because the customer can watch it several times. They can also check out whatever material you might be providing them, et cetera, et cetera. So prospecting is a really, really useful scenario where to create video greetings. However, if you're prospecting hundreds of people a day, trying to contact hundreds of people or sending campaigns, I understand that it might not be that interesting to record hundreds of personalized videos a day. So of course you can also make generic ones, but when you're making generic videos that aren't personalized for a specific viewer, you might obviously have a slightly blander message coming out. There's 3 other use cases I want to go over. There's meeting recaps. This one should explain itself, but once you've had a meeting, send a recap video. Send some material, preferably at least send the material that you went through with the customer, but maybe even something else. But recording the video, again, is a great way to summarize. It's a great way to stay in their minds. And it's a really good way to keep your recap email very short. Every single study about email length says that short emails are better. Under 100 words, the percentage that people read through the whole email is way higher than over 100 words. And being a millennial, which is not the youngest generation anymore, but being a millennial, I can tell you that when I receive an extremely long email, I might not read it just because it looks long, even though it might be really relevant. Okay, if it's from important customers or from customers and so on, of course I'll read it. But if it's from somebody trying to sell to me, a long email is not necessarily very interesting. So if I've recorded a video greeting, I can write a short email saying, hey, thanks for the meeting, blah, 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 blah. I recorded a recap here and added some interesting material about this and this. And that leads them to open the video. And in a 90-second, 2-minute video, you can recap a whole lot more than you might in an email very quickly and personally. Same applies to contracts and offers. Go over your offer, make a video. You can highlight key points in your offer. You can explain some things that might be difficult to explain with text. It's just a good way to again be more memorable in that situation, and again a good way to stand out. But it's also something you need to consider, especially in the offer scenario, because customers might be showing that offer to multiple people, multiple stakeholders that you've never met. It's very common for me to realize that my offer has been opened by 3, 4, 5, 6 different people, even though I might have only been selling to 1 or 2 stakeholders. And that video greeting is your window into introducing you and everything you guys do and what your benefit is to those people. And again, you'll stand out compared to the competition in that situation. So really, really important that you do that in the offer scenario. And again, just to remind everybody, if you have any questions, just feel free to comment on the YouTube chat.
The time is running, but let's just go to, so as you, Lauri, you're probably the premier sender of video greetings currently in the world.
I've sent several thousand in the last year.
Yeah. How do you prepare for video greetings?
Ooh, well, I mean, yeah, I've probably sent around a little over 4,000 video greetings now overall, but it's become very routine for me. And those of you who are connected to me on LinkedIn probably know that I also record videos for LinkedIn, so there's more routine even from that. But the number one thing I aim for when I record a video greeting is that I try to get it done in one take. So I don't want to re-record. I cannot emphasize that point enough. Maybe your personality is completely different and you're fine re-recording. But for me, I feel that the quality of the video greeting goes down with every re-recording, purely because I start to get in my head. I start overthinking what I want to say. So I prepare by thinking of 2 or 3 key points I want to mention. Sometimes I write it down. Sometimes I don't, depending on how routine those topics are. And I don't plan out sentences in advance. I don't write a script for myself, nothing like that. I have those 3 bullets, preferably one-worded bullet points. And I try to get into a quiet space. For me, it doesn't help if there's colleagues around blabbing about, but I try to get into a quiet space and I try to get it done on the first go. Obviously, I do re-record sometimes. There are moments where I have sworn by accident or things like that, so I have to re-record just for that sake. But usually that's what I try to do, and I try to keep them at under 2 minutes in length overall. But yeah, that's pretty much how I prepare. I just go with the mindset that I'll get this done in one go and so on. But there's another point here that I do want to emphasize, which is body language. And facial expressions and so on. I don't know if Mikko agrees, but I feel like I am the arm wavy type of guy. Yeah. And I feel like I've got quite a repertoire of facial expressions, but now I'm focusing on that. But I tried to explain this in a sales training once, that you have to imagine yourself as being Italian when you're recording video greetings, because when you're on video, and it doesn't matter if you're doing a video greeting or if you're on a Teams call or on a webinar, the camera takes away a lot of your personality, your facial expressions and your body language. It takes away a lot of your personality. So if you just do the little tiny movements that a Finn would do, those will not be noticed by anybody. So you have to exaggerate a little bit, maybe not this much, but you do need to exaggerate, and those exaggerations will actually look natural. They wouldn't if you were in a meeting room with someone. But,
and especially because these are videos that are generally looked at in a small format, so you're not looking at it on a big TV or in a movie theater or anything, so you don't see those little expressions on people's faces at all. So
exactly.
Like, go big.
There's no zoom in.
Yeah.
This is
pretend
the most
you're okay. Pretend you're like in the theater and you're playing for the back row, so that everybody gets what emotion you're going for.
Exactly. But also, even though Mikko makes the theater analogy, remember, we're not trying to be Oscar-winning actors here. So just get it done.
Also, be yourself. Don't do a character.
Yeah, that's one thing. Last point I want to make about body language and so on is I've realized that I've gotten a comfort style. I've built a comfort style for myself. So every video greeting starts out the same way. I can simulate this for a couple seconds. Basically, what happens is I do this, like, "Hey there, Mikko," and then I start talking. It's always the peace sign. It's always my head tilts the same way and so on. And I've been laughed at by colleagues about this, and I've gotten comments from some customers who've received a lot of video greetings from me about this. But I do them because they get me in the rhythm, and I know it's generally harmless. So it's a comfort style, and I think the word explains itself. But basically, if we want to, we can summarize what we discussed in a moment. But if there's one thing I'd like everybody to take away from this, it's the fact that making any video greeting, well, not any, but almost any video greeting, is better than not making one at all. And it's better to send material after meetings. It's better to send your offers overall. Well, obviously, you're going to send your offers, but it's better to send information to your customer and be active and so on. But including video greetings is always better than not including them. So if you haven't done that before, or if you haven't been active with them, strongly recommend that you try it again and you try it more, because it does have an effect. And we have checked the data of our users, and those users who do record video greetings, their materials are opened at a higher rate. And from anecdotal evidence, so basically what people have told us, users who are active with video do have better win rates as well.
Yeah.
So
and regarding that, the technical part there, sure, you can think about these like lighting things or how to place your microphone or whatever, but at the end of the day, again, sending something that's technically not great is better than not sending it.
Yeah.
So definitely, like even if your lighting is bad and the sound is bad and you're using your laptop's internal webcam and the quality is not great, it's still better than not doing it.
Exactly. Anyway, before we summarize, I do want to mention that, again, if you still have any questions, feel free to ask, but you can only do that through YouTube, so you do need to open the stream through YouTube. But overall, just to summarize, if anybody has any questions, and while we wait for them, video greetings, they'll make you more personal, they'll make you more memorable. Don't have a window behind you if you don't have a light, I guess is the main point. Don't have a massive bright light behind you. Try to prepare for video greetings by aiming for doing it in one take. And don't plan every single word you're going to say. I have a colleague who tries to sometimes do that, and he has to take many retakes sometimes. When he doesn't plan and prepare too much, he does really great video greetings. We're working on it. You can also improvise. We didn't mention this too much, but you can also improvise. So if you want, you can walk around. You can do this in other locations. Doing this outside during the day with your phone is great. It can be very memorable if you're in an interesting location. Body language, be Italian. And yeah, any video greeting is better than no video greeting, I would say. Yeah. Mikko, any final points you've learned over the last couple of years that we've had this feature? Oh, yeah.
Well, I think the main thing is that last point of having a video greeting is always better than not having it, no matter what it's like. Even if you're not a great performer, or like even if you're a little awkward in front of the camera. But of course, think of it maybe more not as a performance in front of a camera, and more of a, well, like you would have a video call with your customer. Yeah. So you being yourself, just explaining the things that you were going to explain in an email, but just in a friendlier, more personable way.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at our agenda. There's several bullet points we didn't have the time to go through. If you have any questions and want to know what those bullet points were, you can always get in touch. But I think we're gonna call it. So thank you very much for participating. And we'll try to have webinars about more daily topics regarding SalesFrame and regular sales activities more often. I feel like the video greeting function is something that interests a lot of salespeople, but worries some. So that's why we picked this, and we probably will talk more about this again. But either way, you guys have a good day. Thank you, Mikko. And bye-bye now.
Thanks.